Welcome back to Out Loud right here on Fox Soul. I am joined by two of the beautiful stars of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Robyn, Dixon, and Gizelle Bryant. Ladies, welcome again. I'm glad you're here. Y'all been being talked. They talking about y'all a lot these days. I mean, we can't get away from y'all. Every single day, y'all cutting up. I'm seeing y'all on blogs all over the place. They talking about y'all. So how do you keep your personal life separate from your role as a reality star? Because in a way, it is a role in some regards, right? Because some of that stuff, it ain't, I mean, it's a little bit like a role, or is that all y'all? Would you really be doing all this if involved in all this had it not been for the show?
I mean, I would never say it's a role. I would say that it is difficult, obviously, as you know, to separate the show from just, living your everyday day-to-day life. And you know that whatever you film, you got to relive it.
Yeah.
When it's aired. And Robyn and I were talking recently, and we were like, don't you remember the days when no one cared about our show? And it was just so nice then. Like it's, this season we have so much attention and the blogs are out of control. The scene in the barn that everyone and their grandmother saw is just, I thought it would like end at this point. It just keeps going and going. And it's just like, it's not stopping. So it's a fine line and we're always trying to walk that fine line, but you just have to, I feel like if you live in your truth and you are on the show as who you are, then you don't really have an issue.
Yeah. But I feel like sometimes it does get a little overwhelming, like especially the social media aspect once the fans start watching it. So I actually make an effort to disconnect from the show, from social media, really to like not let it consume my life. Some people, I think sometimes they get on the show and it's like their entire being. For me, it's like, no, I am like, when I'm filming the show, I'm on the show. If I'm doing something like related to it, fine. But like outside of that, like, no, I'm in my house with my kids and my partner, and we're just like living life normal. Like I do not let it consume me at all. It's just hard because like if you listen to every single word that people say about you, like you'll start to believe them. So I'm like, no, I don't.
I know I mentioned the word role. I kind of wish, from my small experience on reality, that people would take it more as a role and turn up and do coordinated, like have fun on camera and talk your shit. And maybe right before you're scene, you'd be like, hey girl, I'm about to come for you. And you'd be like, okay, cool. It's acting. Put on a show and then go for drinks afterwards. I think that's the healthiest way, because when it becomes your life, like you said, Robyn, there are people that you could be in your scene looking at it like, I'm just being me, I'm just doing me. But then you may be up in the scene against someone that this is their world. And if they don't turn up on you in the scene, they know they're not getting brought back next season, or their money's gonna go down or whatever. Or they live for that applause of the fans. And then I think that almost becomes like a disorder, because you're living for strangers that don't give a shit about you, right? At that point.
Yeah, agreed.
And the applause and the negativity is just as influential on you. And then you start, oh my God, they said I need a nose job. Oh, I can't dress. And then you start living for what these people are saying that are behind their screens. They ain't living not near, nowhere close to what you're doing. Talking that shit. And it can really, really mess with your head.
Yeah, it becomes too toxic sometimes. Look, I have a kid that wants to show his face.
Hey, child.
It becomes
Corey.
Hi, Corey. Have you seen his hair, Gizelle?
Yes.
Look at this.
Who was that back in the day? Crisscross?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
He's kid. Yes, Crisscross, and he's kid, right? Or play. Which one is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do y'all worry about the whole, I say this all the time. White folks, when they're on a show, they can have all kinds of shows, Honey Boo Boos and Trailer Park Trash, all kind of stuff. That doesn't reflect poorly on the white race. A black show, one or two people wild out, and it's like, you guys are responsible for the negative perception of black women. Like the whole race is on our backs. Do y'all feel that responsibility? Do y'all feel that pressure because you're on reality TV that is quite popping right now?
For me, when we were casted for the show, we realized that there aren't that many shows of all black women ensemble. So for us, it was, let's not play into the stereotypes that people usually painted Black women on reality shows with, and let's try to actually show a different side. And so I won't say there's not yeah, we were. And you know, we had our differences, but we usually resolved them and you know, through, you know, some sort of mediation or conversations. And it was a good way to teach people, like, you know, you can get through some really difficult times and you don't have to want to like tear each other's hair out. So it was just like, for us, I think we took a lot of pride in being on a show where we be ourselves and not feel the pressure to do the things that you see on other shows. But I think oh shoot, is my internet? It says my internet connection is unstable. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're going in and out.
Okay.
Hear you now.
Okay. But I wouldn't say there's a pressure. It was more of like an honor and a privilege to kind of, you know, just be something different than what people stereotypically thought of reality TV, of Black women on reality TV.
And I think that's why people are reacting like so strongly to the fight that finally happened. But that was a year and a half ago, I understand. Because you ladies were the ones that did resolve with words, and y'all did not, you know, y'all didn't go there. Y'all found a way to be classy about it. So it's, and like I think you said, Gizelle, earlier, you said, remember when people weren't really paying attention, right? And now it sucks that now that the fight happens, everyone's talking about it because people say they don't want that, but then that's what they react to.
Yeah. Exactly. But, you know, and then Claudia, when we first started, there was this huge comparison between us and Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And our position has always been that, you know, not all Black women are the same. Yep. We are different. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. So it's nice to show that we all come in different shades, different colors, different everything. And we just want to stand on our own as far as Potomac is concerned. And we do want to show that there is a side to Black life than the stereotypical things that we have seen. It's as Robyn said, it became like a badge of honor for us. And this is our platform, and we're going to stand behind it and be proud of it. And it's not that we're not proud of it today because of what happened in the barn. But yeah, like, especially now more than ever with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all that means to us and our culture, it's important that we show, especially like the younger generation, that we're not that we can be educated, we can talk through things, we can have huge differences and get through it because we talk about it, not because we resort to any sort of violence.
And this is a one-time thing from what I understand. So we do have to talk about it because that's what everyone wants to know. The physical altercation between cast members Monique Samuels and Candiace Dillard has been the biggest buzz of any season of Potomac. What was y'all's initial reaction when, you know, things turned physical? What were you thinking?
I mean, I was truly shocked, like, because just even for it to get there, it didn't make any sense to me, like why it got there. So my first reaction was just why, just like, this was like totally unnecessary. And it was embarrassing for me. One, like, we're in a public place and there literally were people in there and they're watching. It was just so much commotion. And I just felt so much embarrassment that we were acting like that. Like, it was just, you know, and it's not just two people. It's we're all lumped into that. And so, I mean, it was just shock and embarrassing for me. Like,
yeah.
Candiace was actually on my show earlier this week, and many of the viewers expressed that she wasn't the victim in the altercation. So what are y'all's thoughts? What do you think?
That she was not the victim? Mm-hmm. She was. I mean, that's unfortunate. She definitely was. I mean, Robyn and I have said a million times, Candiace is annoying. Candiace has a mouth on her. Her mouth is reckless and she's annoying, but it's never made anybody, and it's never okay for anybody to put their hands on someone else because they don't like what's coming out of somebody's mouth. Mm-hmm. And Claudia, they weren't even arguing about anything important. It wasn't like Candiace said, yeah, I slept with your husband, or yeah, your kids are ugly. It was none of that. It was just like non-fighting words, as they say. And so no, Candiace was 100% the victim.
So it was non-fighting words that became, why do you think it did that time? You don't know.
To this day, I have no clue.
I still don't know. I really don't know. I haven't heard a good explanation. I, like Gizelle said, I think that deserved, you know, a physical altercation. Like, I'm waiting for someone to tell me, like, what exactly?
What was the deal?
Yeah. And I feel
with touch hair doesn't happen, then this altercation doesn't happen. So I wish we could get some resolution. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to doing it in a mature and adult way.
Okay,
yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break and adjust an audio issue. When we come back, we have a few more minutes with these ladies. And so stick around for more Out Loud on Fox Soul. Welcome back to Out Loud. We're here on Fox Soul. I'm with two of the stars of Real Housewives of Potomac, Gizelle Bryant and Robyn Dixon. And okay, we have a clip of what's to come the remainder of the season. So let's take a look.
The fight between Candiace and Monique was just an atomic bomb.
I care enough about you not to set your ass up. Receive that.
It lit fires in pockets of friendships.
Karen said I would press charges.
It's like, who's your alliance to?
You want me to choose a side, and I'm not going to do that. Don't stop.
Ooh, we got some more drama coming up. Robyn, I have a question for you from a viewer now. Okay.
Yes.
Viewer says, let's see. Leela Jennings says, Robyn has been up in everyone's face more times than anybody on the show. And you spoke about beating up Ashley Darby during the season 2 reunion. How do you justify those comments? And do you got hands is what I want to know.
So there is a line that I have never crossed, which is putting my hands on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So just because I got in someone's face, that doesn't mean that I grabbed their hair and punched them 3 times while producers were begging me to let go. Like, I don't really see the equivalency. Now, had I actually gotten physical with someone, I would have been mortified, I would have been embarrassed, and I would have immediately apologized. Like, I would have been worried about the world finding out, and I would have been worried about what my parents had to say and what Juan had to say. So there's like, yeah, I knew very well how to control myself. It's called self-control and not crossing the line. And if anyone wants to make a comparison to that, like that's like comparing apples to rocks. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
what do you say to people that say, well, getting in someone's face is threatening? What do you say to that? Because, like, you know, people say, oh, she provoked me and that's why I hit her back, because she was in my face.
Well, Claudia, we are grown. We are grown, Claudia. Like, we are. And maybe when we were in our 20s, maybe then I might be able to entertain that. We are grown freaking women. And I just don't follow that line of thought. Like, because she was close to my face, I'm being provoked. No, you have the right to turn around and leave. You decided, if you put your hands on somebody, it's because you decided to do that.
I agree with that. I remember when there was a big fight with Portia and Kenya, and people say that Portia was provoked, and that's what justified dragging Kenya. I didn't like that either. So I've got to ask you both.
Even that was more extreme. I feel like what Kenya did was far more extreme than what anyone on Potomac did. So
do you all think that Monique should be removed from the show because of the fight? Do you feel nervous about her presence there, or do you feel like it takes the show down? How do y'all feel about that?
So, I feel like we haven't been able to resolve what has happened. We really haven't had like an honest, grown and mature conversation. I think it would be really hard if it was like, tomorrow to move forward. Mm-hmm. We would have to really sort through these issues, because there's so many mixed messages that are being sent from Monique, whether it's on the show or on social media or in interviews. Like, I really don't know how she really feels about what she did. Now, my concern would be, gosh, like, I have to filter what I say to her, because who knows how angry she'll get over something that, in my opinion, is not really worthy of fighting. I honestly don't want to have to fight on television. Like, that's just, I'm not scared of fighting, but I don't want to fight on television. So I don't want to say anything to someone.
I ain't scared though. I don't want to, but I'm scared. I'm no punk. Robyn, I see you. You ain't no punk.
But I mean, Claudia, everybody wants to blame me and Robyn for Monique potentially maybe not being around. And you know, Robyn and I didn't hire Monique. Mm-hmm. If Monique's not around, it has nothing to do with me and Robyn. Like, we don't have that kind of authority. It's cute that y'all feel like we have that kind of power, but we don't. So if she's on the show, it has nothing to do with us. If she's not on the show, it has nothing to do with us.
Would you like her to come back?
I would like for her to be accountable for her actions and for her to act like an adult.
Very fair. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your transparency and talking about this. I appreciate it. I like that we can have these kind of conversations. And what I don't like about reality TV is the different standards they have for white reality show stars and Black ones. And that's what needs to stop. You know what I mean? Like, we do something, it's way different than the reaction to white women. And I would like the same energy to be kept amongst all the housewives. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Very beautiful, and I appreciate y'all sharing a little bit of your lives and your perspective on the show.